Well, hello there, people with internet, and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti and welcome to my Doom 2 Sign of Torment UV Max Let's Play series. In this episode, map 30, In the End. Alright, here we are, the final level, the final stretch, the final thing that needs to be done. Sign of Torment is coming to a close today! On map 30, it says change. No? Yeah, change. No, well, why is that a G? Change is with a... Isn't change with a C? This is chunga. Or am I just tripping balls right now? Anyway, map 30. It's called In the End by Linkin Park. Oh, and there's no enemies here. Oh, is this going to be a tribute map like I kind of predicted? Oh, what the hell? You are the real monster, not them. Oh, are you going to try to guilt trip me now because I murdered over 1,000 demons in the previous level? Oh, you need keys though, so we need to be here for a little while. Rise. Torture. Torture. Oh, hey, this is, which level is this again? I know which level this is. Map 19. Oh, hey, all the demons have been replaced by Doom guys. But yeah, this is map 19, Broken Mirror. Okay, so you're trying to guilt trip me now because I killed a fuck ton of demons. How am I the monster? How am I the monster? They're literal demons. Was it worth it? Well, yeah, pretty much. I wiped out a whole bunch of... Okay, where the hell does this bring me? Here? The past is dead. Okay, so I activated this, which runs here. Oh, the exit. Oh, okay. I need 4 jumping pad activations. Okay. So I just went through there, so we're gonna go through here. Oh god, this is map 22. One that I very much dislike. Can't remember what the name of this level is though. Whispers, I think? There's no secrets here, right? No, no secrets. Oh, here's the black key card. We were only testing you. Okay. Who is we? Is that the dimension or is it the UAC people? The main keepers would be here and the chain gunners would be there. Like, is this the dimension, this fucked up dimension testing me, or was it the UAC people that were behind it all along? I have a black key card now. Oh my god, sorry. Oh man. No life is worth saving. Oh, you think so? Oh, whoops. So I did both of those. Oh, once again we get to this weird cityscape that I don't know nothing about. Bunch of dead Doom guys here, though. We will destroy the Earth, and you'll help us do it. Okay, if you say so. So I highly doubt that this is the UAC doing this, because I highly doubt that the UAC wants to destroy the Earth. I mean, the UAC wants to do a lot of fucked up shit with demons, which resulted in destroying the Earth, but I don't think that destroying the Earth was ever the UAC's intention. So is this like a view of the future or whatever? Like this is what will happen. I kill a fuck ton of people in the city. So that's what this was about, or at least that's what the dimension was about. It's fucking me up. Like why the hell did the UAC send me over here? Did the UAC kind of like want to have like an ultimate super weapon in this dimension? And that's why they sent me to go and get it, but I got corrupted instead. Or they're trying to corrupt me because I haven't submitted yet. Humanity has expired. Okay, I highly doubt that this is the UAC talking. Oh, this is map 5. Doom Guy's first slaughter map. Blood and gore, or I can't remember what the name is. Is the secret here? Yeah. I mean, it isn't tagged as a secret, but I can't remember what the name of this level is, but this is map 5 or whatever. And that was the first archvile up here. Only torment remains. Do I need to press this? Oh no, I just need to have the key. I just need to get back out. Yeah, that's funny that all these levels are back, but then a bit fucked up, and then with Doom Guys instead of actual enemies. Or me, essentially. For the those of me. Life is meaningless. Okay, so it's not the UAC doing this, I imagine. I mean, the UAC wanted to find something in this dimension. Oh, we're back in map 1. Huh. This is map 1 again, but then in the creepy dimension. Where was the secret again? Yeah, here. Not that it matters, because the secret doesn't... There's no secrets to be had here. So we go back to the start. That's pretty cool. We go back to where it all began, 32 levels ago. Sorrow... Oh no... What? Sordid? What does sordid mean? Darkness is growing inside you. Oh, don't even die. I was expecting to completely die right there. Okay. Wow. Okay, so... Is that true? Am I, like, corrupted now? Did I spend too long in the corrupted dimension and did I become the enemy? Let's see. Oh, that's fire. As you move forward, the light fades completely. An endless void embraces you and you feel becoming the darkness. You appear in the UAC teleporting facility, surrounded by UAC security forces. Suddenly, black fog comes through the teleporters and kills everyone, except one scientist. You pull out your pistol and put a bullet in her head. Your time has come, and nothing shall stand in your fucking way. Nobody can stop you. Okay, so I got corrupted in the end. In that weird dimension. Oh, we don't even have an an enemy reveal of all the demons. Okay, that is the end of Sign of Torment, I guess. Well, it is the end of Sign of Torment. Huh. Well, what the fuck was so special in that dimension that the UAC so desperately wanted me to return? Or retrieve? Because that was the whole premise. They sent me on my way because they had lost contact with the research team in that scary dimension. And they were very scared of very sensitive data being lost or whatever. But what was it exactly that they were trying to find in there? Is that the dimension that creates demons or something? Is that what it is? Because I always thought that it was Hell's Hell. You know, all the demons that you kill get teleported, or when they die, they end up in that dimension and then they get tortured in forever or whatever, you know? That's their punishment for failing to kill Doomguy. That's what I thought initially. But... And some of the creepy text actually, like, confirmed it in my mind. But now, with this ending... It seems like this dimension is the dimension that creates demons. And I just got corrupted and became a demon, essentially. So that's like Hell's machine room or whatever. Hell's factory. All the demons are created there. That doesn't really explain why we see so many demons tortured and murdered in very gruesome ways all throughout the 3rd episode. But I guess that's what they were doing in that dimension. Also makes sense that the UAC really wanted to have that dimension in that case, because, you know, the UAC, especially with Doom 2016, you know, with the UAC weaponizing demons for a brighter tomorrow, you know, all that type of stuff. The UAC creating demon armies that they want to control and stuff like that. That makes sense that the UAC would want to get a hold of that dimension, if that is the dimension where they can create where demons are born or created. What I don't understand though is why there was so much tech base in that creepy dimension. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I get the I get corrupted if I stay in there for too long, so it would make sense that it is sort of like a hell place. But I don't really understand why there was so much tech base. Like, is it like the UAC went there with some research people and then they died a horrible death or whatever, and then Hell or whoever runs that creepy dimension was like, oh hey, look at that technology, let's multiply that and infuse it in this dimension. Is that what happened or something? Because that wasn't really explained anywhere, why all of a sudden that creepy dimension had a lot of tech base. I mean, I understand that there would be like buildings with bricks and stuff, because, you know, just like in Hell there would be brick buildings and shit. So that wasn't really that much of a concern, but there was a lot of technology in that dimension, which didn't really make sense to me that it would be there. Like, or did the UAC get very far in the process of taming that dimension, and that they built a fuck ton of bases and computer stations everywhere? And then the dimension was like, all right, let's, you know, maybe it was like the dimension or whoever runs that thing is like, all right, let's pretend like we're vulnerable. Let's just, you know, we'll give away our secrets, lure them in. And then once they set up a humongous base everywhere, because, you know, it's the UAC, so they obviously go big scale and everything. Then once they've like set up a humongous base, then we'll fucking annihilate them. And they'll probably want to get their investment back, and then they'll send more humans our way. And then we can just turn them all into demon humans or something. Maybe that is it or so. I don't know. I'm just making all this shit up because none of that is explained. Maybe this what's it called? Like, deliberately left up to your imagination, but I would have loved a bit more closure. But anyway, that is Sign of Torment. 32 levels of creepiness, insaneness, beautiful aesthetics, and sometimes very frustrating level mechanics. Yeah. That was Sign of Torment, everybody. The humongous, interestingly, journey has come to an end. That's Sign of Torment. Well, really, yeah, that's Sign of Torment. I just have to, like, yeah, I have to accept it now. It's over. Sign of Torment. It's out. It's over. We're done. Well, some final thoughts on the what's. First of all, fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. The whole atmosphere, it is truly unlike any other Doom mod that I've ever played. Not that I have an extensive library of Doom mods that I have played, so my word is not the strongest, but it is definitely the most unique one that I've played thus far. It is fantastic. It is beautiful. You can clearly see that the map maker, it was one guy, by the way, who has spearheaded this entire thing. He spent over like 2 years making this WOT, by the way. It wasn't like multiple people working on it, it was one guy. So you can clearly see that this was a passion project of his. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, by the way. His name is Kane D, which I'm assuming is a guy, but I don't know. If he isn't, or if he's transgender or something along those lines, he, she, or it may feel free to correct me in the comments below. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to say he, because in my mind, Kane is a male name. But yeah, he made all this stuff on his own, single-handedly. Of course, not everything, because he obviously gives credit to the assets that he used, that he didn't create himself. But, you know, all the levels were made by him, so yeah. one guy with a massive passive project, and that can clearly be seen because a lot of time and effort was poured into this thing, and a lot of love was poured into it as well, and you can clearly see that. I also feel like he didn't heed to John Romero's advice, make the first level last, because this WOD definitely got better and better towards the end. I don't know for sure, of course, but I think he made this in chronological order, started with map 1 and like went further, because the later levels got way more beautiful and creative than the first few ones. Not to say that the first few levels were bad or anything, because they just weren't, but in comparison, the later levels are just way more beautiful. So he didn't heed John Romero's advice of making the first level last, I think, but that's okay. That's his choice, of course. Not like I hate this WOD or something because of that. It's just a funny observation that I just had. Yeah, it's a unique experience. Fucking hell, I haven't seen anything like it. I love the creepy vibes. Like I said at the very beginning, I'm a big sucker for psychological horror. Cry of Fear is one of my most favorite horror games ever made. And I think one of the best horror games ever made, period. Which is highly reliant on psychological horror. The feeling of loneliness, the feeling of depression. And especially in episode 3, but also in other sections of episode 1 and 2, but mostly in episode 3. This WOD definitely pulled that off. The sense of like, holy fuck, where am I? What is going on? Especially the parts where they started to repeat some of the levels, like whatever you're doing is pointless, so like you can keep walking ahead, but you're never gonna reach anything, and then they started to repeat chunks of the level or whatever. It was a lot of good stuff in here. Would have appreciated a bit more, but of course I understand it's still Doom. It's not an actual psychological horror game, so I understand why it was kept at this level. Would have preferred a bit more. Don't think that would have hurt, but that was just that's just wishing for more upon something that was already great, you know. I love the new demons as well. The Undead Hunters are a bit unremarkable because they're just a reskin of the Wolfenstein SS, but I really like the Spectre Imps and also the Crimson Demons, essentially having turbo pinkies and regular pinkies at the same time. Pretty clever, and you can easily distinguish them, which is very nicely done as well. Love their design. Love the fact that you can jib them, even though you don't get a chance to do so very often. And like I said, the Shadow Imps, oftentimes used very well in episode 3 against the black background where you could hardly see them. And because of the fact that they don't make any roaming noises, just like the Undead Hunters, they could have a tendency to sneak up on you and scare the crap out of you, which is kind of like what Sign of Torment needs to do, I feel like, because that's like part of the charm, where it freaks you out more than it's just your average Doom WOD, because it's not. I liked a lot of the level designs, liked a lot of the levels too. Love the color scheme. That, like episode 1 is red themed, episode 2 white themed, episode 3 black themed. It's a very big contrast, especially when going from episode 2 to 3, from bright white to completely dark black or whatever, like the darkness of the black. Very contrast with the very bright levels that were coded in white in episode 2. Especially a few levels that stand out in particular were maps. Yeah, which maps stood out in particular? I'd say, well, obviously map 29. Obviously map 29. Some maps in the first episode too, like map 3, I think. Blood and no, what was that? I can't remember. That one very long level with all the boxes. It sucks that some of the secrets are can only be triggered one way already and then never again. But other than that, I love the exploratory nature of that level. Love a lot of the exploratory levels. Oh fuck, I've forgotten which number that was. That one level that was, which map was that? Like 26 or 27? I can't remember which number that was. But that one level that No, I think map 26, because that was right after map 25, and I hated map 25. But map 26, it did all of a sudden the first try, and I was like, why the hell is this map 26 after map 25? Because map 25 was 10 million times harder. I said something along those lines. Can't remember what the name of the level was, but I really loved that. It was also like a very slow exploratory. You had like that tech-based building with the mastermind outside after you got in. After you wandered back out, then you had to like wander through some caves, get some keys, like go back and forth a few times. Then you had the big arena fight with the mastermind and the cyber demons. So I really liked that. It was I loved the exploration, and it was tough, but it felt like Sign of Torment level of tough. It was good. I loved map 14, the first introduction to the new plasma rifle. Oh yeah, the new plasma rifle is amazing, by the way. Love that. It looks cool, it sounds nice, and it does more damage, so that's perfect. It's beautiful. Also, I liked map 23. This is in no particular order, by the way. I'm just pointing out some maps that I liked. I also like map 23, Die Alone. The fact that you have to run away from the Revenants at the beginning is fun, and the secret is very clever. It just points out where the secret is, but then you actually have to find a different route to get in there to get the plasma rifle. That ambush with the black skull key was nice. I don't really like the platforming bits with the cyber demon though, but and then having to go, you know, like you have to run away from the Revenants at the beginning of the level, then collect keys and weapons, and then come back to that same area and then finish them off or whatever, you know. Like I do like that you start near the exit and then you have to come back there later. Like map 11, the MIDI was nice, a remix of Sign of Evil. The concept was also pretty cool, that you could see which demons would appear by which button you pressed, and you could use them to infight the cyber demons. Map 32 was fucking awesome, except for the Black Void. Other than that, it was fucking awesome. Loved the references to Doom 1, Doom 2, and Plutonia, and Doom 3 in that level. Was very nicely done, very cool. Yeah, map 31 was pretty unremarkable, with the exception of that Archfile jump scare and the psychological torment, psychological horror backrooms done correctly in the black skull key area, or the black keycard area, whatever area that was. Was very nicely done, keeping you on edge in the correct way. Like I said, it felt like backrooms done right. Yeah, and probably some maps from episode 1 that I kind of forget right now, but episode 1 was very nice. My favorite episode was, I think in the end, I do have to go with episode 3, just because of the visuals. And episode 3 had very high highs and very low lows, but I think the high highs, like, just edge out the low lows of episode 3. So episode 3 is my favorite, then episode 1, and episode 2 was my least favorite. It was nice, but some of the secrets in those were just a bit weird, and map 16 in episode 2 was also nice though, map 16. It's very blind unfriendly, but once you practice it and do a practice run, the map is super satisfying when you get it right. So I do actually end up liking that level a lot. But I do feel like episode 2 was the weakest episode. The white theming from the alien planets outstayed its welcome very quickly, I think, and a lot of those maps are just not really memorable. I feel like the exceptions are. Oh, map 15 was nice too, though. Map 14, 15, and 16 were pretty solid, and then the other ones were just like unremarkable. I do remember a few of them just because interesting things happened in them, but not because. You know, that could happen in any level, just demons being weird or AI being weird and then creating a strange situation or whatever, you know? I remember map 19 because of that weird Matrix dodge I did with that Revenant, just because, you know, like, that's why I remember map 19. Well, and the secret was pretty funny too, but, you know, I do feel like, in general, like, episodes 2 was the weakest and the most forgettable maps, I think. The exceptions are 14, 15, and 16 in episode 2. And episode 1, maybe you could argue that episode 1 is the weakest because it's the easiest, the slowest, and not that many crazy things are pulled off over there. And all the new demons are only introduced in episode 2 and onward. So I don't know, maybe episode 1 is the weakest. Episode 3 is definitely the best in my opinion, and I guess it's like a tie in second place or whatever between episode 1 and 2. They kind of like edge each other out in terms of like, oh yeah, but this is better in episode 1, oh, but this is better in episode 2. Like, you know, they kind of edge each other out in that way. Alright, then on to the things I didn't like about Sign of Torment. Jumping pads, very easy. Fucking hate those things. Super inconsistent, even in GZ Doom, where they're supposed to work better than in other Doom ports. They're still janky as all hell. And I feel like the mechanic of jumping pads really doesn't fit Doom very well. You know, in map 5 they did the same thing where, you know, on islands you get teleported around. You need to walk to the edge of the island and then you get teleported somewhere else. They only did it there, but then they never did it ever again. I was like, why did you do it there and then never again? Why didn't you do jumping pads there? Or why did you decide to not do the teleporting thing anymore? Felt like it was like the map maker was experimenting. It was like, oh, we'll do this. No, I don't want to do this in every single level. Let's invent the jumping pads or whatever, and then... But somehow they kept it in map 5 or something, you know? So it felt a bit weird. But, you know, I hate jumping pads. They're very inconsistent. If you're 1 pixel too far to the left, you, like, immediately lose 700 kilometers worth of speed. And then you don't make the jump that you're supposed to easily be able to make. I especially hate it when the map maker forced me to use jumping pads incorrectly to get secrets and stuff. Fucking hated that. Due to the aforementioned reason. And like I said, episode 3 had very high highs, but also very low lows. A lot of things that I didn't really agree with in terms of enemy placements and map placements and stuff. Map 22, fucking amazing, but I'm still busy taking in the environment of... It's the second level of the third episode, and immediately it's pretty nuts. It's insane. And I felt like a practice run would be like 50 million times better than a blind run. Blind run sucked on map 22. Map 25 blind run sucked. Yeah, map 23 was a bit of an exception. Map 24 was also an exception, but that final fight then all of a sudden required a blind run because, you know, the freaking 4 archfiles, Cyber Demon and Revenants and shit. Like, sometimes, like, this what was supposed to be easy medium difficulty, but sometimes the map maker was like, yeah, well, how about I just crank it into hard difficulty for a second, and then we just go back to, you know... Those are the biggest things of critique that I have of Sign of Torment. Just the change in tone from time to time. All of a sudden, it's like, the whole time it's like, yeah, slow exploration, creepy things with silent teleporters, making you lose your orientation in a pretty good way, making you feel disorientated, making you feel like, oh my god, I'm missing something, what's going on? Like, that whole thing. That is the trademark of Sign of Torment. That's like, that is the experience that you came here for. Except for the fact when it's not, because then all of a sudden, from random reasons, they just pull out all the stops and make a very intense, difficult combat puzzle that you have to be Zero Master to solve during a blind run. And then, after that is over, all of a sudden they want to go back to the slow, creepy exploration bit that they did before. Like, no, that doesn't work. You can't mix and match those freaking genres all willy-nilly or however you want. Well, you can, but that ends up being very frustrating because you're like, slow exploration, then massive fight, slow exploration. Like, that, no. Like, fucking, no. Prime example is, of course, map 25, because I really hated that level. That Cyber Demon in that tiny room sucks so goddamn hard. No health, and there's no reason why you should make an extra trip past the Cyber Demon just to grab a medikit, just so you can have an extra chance to get hit in the face with a rocket. So, you know, like, why on earth would you run the extra risk, you know? So that's just very stupidly designed in my opinion. I would say make the room a bit bigger or change the mastermind, change the Cyber Demon into a mastermind. I do like the difficulty scaling with the pillars that could block the rockets. That was very nicely done though in map 25, but other than that, like, I really hated that level. The fights themselves were fine, but it was like the whole thing. And it felt like nothing like Sign of Torment would do, like, or whatever, you know? Nothing like that was ever done before in Sign of Torment. I mean, I get the third episode is the most difficult of them all, so of course they're going to do crazy things, but, you know, if we take, for example, oh god, which map was that? Map 27? Black is the Soul, I believe? Is that map 27? Or 28. I don't remember. Map 27, I think. The level's called Black is the Soul, or Dark is the Soul. The one with the light amplification visor battle. That was tough, but that is fucking fun. That was a hell of a lot of fun. I absolutely loved that fight. That was very, very, very well done. That felt like a Sign of Torment fight. That was creative. That was, you know, like super dark. You get the light amplification visor, and the fight lasts just as long as the light amplification visor, and then the room unlocks and you get out, and you don't even see the corpses anymore because the room is just pitch black again. It's like nothing happens. I love that visually, and just like the whole mechanic was very creatively thought of. I love that. But then that Cyber Demon Map 25, on the other hand, is like, that's way too much RNG. That's way too difficult. That's way too fucking no safeguards, you know? And also, the jumping pads in combination with a death floor underneath. No teleporting to get back out. If the jumping pad decides to screw you over, you have to restart the whole level if you have some bad luck, which is stupid. And also so the Black is Soul is map 27, because map 28, I believe, is Loneliness, which was the Artful Space program. But that was fun too, but like, I have a lot of very strong mixed feelings about episode 3. Like I said, high highs, low lows. I love some of the maps, I hate some of the maps. I feel like the map order is incorrect. I feel some maps should be shuffled around. Map 22 should not be the second map of the third episode, because you're still busy taking in the environment, and then they're throwing that map in your face. Just like that, with some insane combat puzzle that you all of a sudden need to solve. I had a very long discussion with some people in the comments, which was very nice in that episode, where it was just like, yeah, what the fuck, that doesn't really fit the whole tone. Like, out of nowhere, they just do throw this in the mix, and then the next map, and it's like, yeah, everything is back to Sign of Torment standards. Like, what? So those are the things I didn't like, the sudden shift in tone and stuff like that. And jumping pads, and the permadeath floors. So those are the things that I dislike about Sign of Torment. And finally, the one final thing that I really should say about Sign of Torment, it is fantastic. However, it isn't your average Doom Watt, and it should embrace it just a bit more, I feel like. And you, as the player playing it, should also embrace it. And what I mean by that is, if you compare Doom Watts to food, it's a bit of a weird analogy, but stick with me for a while. If you compare Doom Watts to food, regular, just your average Joe Doom Watt is like a hamburger. Stick with me on this analogy, on this one, alright? It's like a hamburger. It's fast, it's delicious, it doesn't take very long to prepare. There's a million different customizations, a million different versions. And, if you quickly want to have a bite to eat, you can just grab a hamburger and just customize it however you want and go. However, Sign of Torment, in that comparison, isn't a hamburger. Sign of Torment is more like a turkey. A big turkey that you need to marinate. You need to make a conscious effort to think, oh, I'm going to serve that turkey on this particular day. So that means I need to marinate it the day before. I need to buy the spices for that. I need to do, I need to preheat the oven. I need to very slowly throw this thing put this thing in the oven. It needs to be in the oven the entire day. Very slowly it needs to cook or whatever in that thing. You need to grab the juices after it's while it's in the oven, constantly cover the turkey in the juices of. You have to open the oven, that is Sign of Torment. Sign of Torment is not just your average Watt. In pretty much any single Watt, like my for example the Interception series, you can just. The story's not very important. You can just pick whatever map you like. If you want to try a fun map, just load up a random map and just pistol start that shit and just have a lot of fun. This doesn't really work that way. I mean, you could, but the whole experience is from start to finish. You can just do one continuous play, but every map is made for pistol start as well, so you can just choose however you want to play. But every it's a different experience. You need to make a conscious effort to play this. I feel like it's not like you have to fucking meditate and like clear out like a few days in your schedule of your actual life to play Sign of Torment or whatever. Like it's not that extreme, but you do need to make like a conscious effort. Alright, I'm playing Sign of Torment now. I'm not playing any regular Doom. This is you can't just like pick map 27 and load it and pistol start it and just like go. Like, you know, this WOD doesn't really work that way. This is a whole different experience, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, like with movies. Like this isn't just a movie that you can just throw up during a slumber party and just have fun, like a generic superhero movie or something like that. No, this is like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, or this is like what the freaking hell is that movie called? It's like Blade Runner 2042 or whatever. Like some of those movies that last like 3 hours or whatever. This is not the movie you can just throw up and just have instantly be hooked or whatever. No, it's like you need to make a conscious effort to like sit down. I'm going to watch this thing, prepare. Like maybe you're like looking forward to it throughout the week, that you have time to watch this movie. That is this WODs. You need to make like a conscious effort to play this, like sit down, like relax, like try to ignore, like I've mentioned very many times, I mean, various excuses, I named them. It sounds a bit harsh, but I don't mean it in a harsh way, because like very weird designs choices are made, but I'm like, hey, this isn't your average WOD. This wouldn't work in any other WOD, but it works in Sign of Torment because Sign of Torment isn't your average WOD. It's something completely different and unique, and that's why, you know, like you need to make a conscious effort. You need to sit down to play this thing front to back, episode 1, 2, and 3, map 1 to 32 through 32, finish on 30, of course. Like, this isn't just like, oh, I've seen map 9 on Sign of Torment, so I just load it up, pistol start, and have a blast. Like, that's not really how this works. That's not how this goes. So, you know, that's not necessarily critique, because I think that's part of the charm of Sign of Torment, but it's just like a heads up for any one of you who wants to try Sign of Torment out. Like, you'll have the best experience if you like have a conscious effort. I'm going to play this thing all the way through, like from start to finish. It's not like, alright, I'll just try the fun levels with the badass MIDI soundtracks on the background and then I'll be done. You could, but you'll probably have a very, very negative experience of Sign of Torment, because you'll run into a lot of those design issues that I mentioned earlier. Like, oh, this is weird, this wouldn't work in a WOD. But, you know, it works when the whole context, when you see the whole picture, it all does actually kind of work or whatever, you know? So that's only it's not like a point of critique, it's more like a maintenance note or whatever, like an asterisk at the end. Like, yeah, Sign of Torment is great, but it requires a bit of a preparation or whatever to enjoy it to its fullest extent. You know, just like with that movie comparison, just like some people really hate those movies because they're so long and they take very long to get through, to get into the plot points. This is the same. This takes very long to get into like juicy, decent, well, decent sounds very mean, get into the juicy, like, oh my god, this is Sign of Torment levels or whatever, you know? And some people that want to play Doom WODs don't really want that, so for you, I guess this is not really going to be a very fun experience to play, because you're going to run into these issues that I already ran into, but then more harshly, because you are just only looking for fun, you know, like, you're looking for the hamburger experience, but this is the turkey experience, you know? Requires a different preparation time and a different time to enjoy it. It's not like you can just grab a turkey out of the fridge and throw it in the microwave for half an hour and then just be like, oh, there we go. Half an hour is a bit too long, of course, but you know what I mean. It just requires a whole different like look to it. So that's, like I said, not a point of critique, it's just a point of an asterisk at the end. So anyway, that is the end of Sign of Torment. So now you may be asking, what is going to happen on Monday and Wednesday from now on? Well, don't worry, because there's going to be more Doom. Because I actually recorded a 16 level Doom Megawatt before I started Interception 2. And that is the series I did before this one. So I have that has been sitting in my recorded videos folder for over a year at this point. I got a pop filter on my microphone in the meantime, so the microphone quality will be a bit different in those videos. That's how old they are. The reason is because I wanted to do that WOD I'm not going to say which one it is yet, haha. I wanted to do that one first, but then I discovered about Interception 2, and I had already played Interception 1, so I wanted to play the sequel first before I uploaded that other one. And then after I finished Interception 2, the lead developer of Interception 2 and Interception 1, it's the same guy, he suggested Sign of Torment to me. And I had a look into it, and I was very impressed with this WOD from the pictures and the info that was given. So therefore I decided that I wanted to do that first. So then I pushed back that other series again. So it has been over a year. I've got all 16 episodes done, ready, edited, everything. So if I wanted to right now, I can throw all 16 episodes on my YouTube channel in one go. But I'm going to not do that. I'm going to slowly upload them as if I'm, doing a regular series like usual. But they've been sitting in my recorded videos folder for freaking ages. So it's time I started uploading them. So next up is a 16 level megawatt. It's not going to be as serious, far from actually, as Sign of Torment. After that is done, that's 16 level megawatts, we are going to go into a megawatt trilogy. 3 megawatts, well 2 megawatts and then a 12 level megawatt. 2 megawatts of 32 levels, and then one, I don't think it's officially called a megawatt, because I believe you need to have more than 15 levels to be considered a megawatt. So the third episode is only 12 levels, so that's just a regular watt, not a megawatt. So that is coming after the 16 level megawatt that I've already got planned. So there's plenty more Doom stuff coming. By the way, if you have a suggestion for me for a Doom WOD that you really want me to play, leave it in the comments. Because as I've already mentioned, I've pushed back the 16 level megawatt that is coming up next week. I've pushed that back for over a year. So just because I have, what is that? I've got now 16 levels plus 12 for that third episode of the trilogy. That is, 28? Plus 2 times 32, that's 64, so that is 64 plus 28. Am I saying this correctly? 64? Yeah, 64, that is, yeah. And 20, yeah, okay, so, that is, what is that? 80, no? Is that like 92? Yeah. Right? 64 plus 28. It's 92, I think. Well, something along those lines. So just because I have 92 levels lined up doesn't automatically mean that your suggestion will be added to the back of the pile. Because as this series has proved, whatever. I pushed Sign of Torment forward because I was too interested in it to let it lay dormant for too long. So just because you suggest a WOD and I've already got 92 levels lined up doesn't automatically mean that your WOD will be pushed to the back of the pile. If you've got a very cool WOD that I very much am interested in, then I will push it forward. But not before the 16 level megawatt, because like I said, it's been sitting in my recorded videos folder for over a year, so it's about freaking time that I finish that up. Anyway, that is it for Sign of Torment. If you can't wait until next week for the new Doom series to start, don't worry, just go to my YouTube channel. There is an entire section filled with Doom playlists, as you can see on the screen right now. There is, there's Interception 1 and 2, there's Plutonia, there's Slaughterfest 2014, I haven't finished it yet, or 2012, I believe. I haven't finished it yet, but there's, I've done 20 Slaughter maps there, live streams that you can rewatch. It's Town Infection, there is Brutal Doom, there is Maps of Chaos, there is a lot of Doom stuff there. So if you can't wait until next week for the new Doom series to start, there's enough Doom content for you in the library, and there's, like I said, more Doom content ready and waiting, because, like I said, I've got 92 levels lined up, and that is excluding your guys' suggestions that you could drop in the comments. So if you have a Doom WOD that you really would love to see me play, drop it in the comments. Don't worry, it doesn't automatically mean it will be added in the back of the pile, or on the bottom of the pile, I mean. back of the line, bottom of the pile. Do you need to make a distinction between those two? Like I said, doesn't mean that it will be added to the bottom of the pile. Doesn't if I'm interested in it, I will push it forward. And I've got a bunch of other WODs lined up that I didn't mention just now, excluding the 92. So yeah, there's more than enough Doom stuff coming. So if you're interested in more, don't worry, got you covered. Anyway, so that's it for Sign of Torment. There's a link to the Doom wiki page, to the Doom World download page if you want to try this WOD out for yourself. If you want to rewatch any of the videos, they're all on the playlist, like I said. If you want to watch more Doom stuff because you can't wait until next week before the new series starts, like I said, got you covered. There's a ton of Doom WODs that I've already done. So go ahead and check those out if you can't wait until next week. And yeah, finally, I just want to say a massive thank you to, first of all, Kane D for the creation of the WOD, because although I was a bit critical at times, I had a fucking blast of an experience. And like I said, this is unlike any Doom WOD I've ever played before. Not like I have a very extensive library, but still. And I want to thank the map maker for creating the WOD, for slaving over this thing for over 2 years. This massive passion project. And finally, I would like to thank everybody that has watched this series from episode 1 to, well, 30. 32 technically, but of course we've already done the secret levels. Thank you very much for watching the entire thing from episode 1 to 2. Thank you very much for commenting on these videos as well. A bunch of people. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to fucking shout them out. Because you've been commenting so much on my Doom 2 Sign of Torment videos. I'm probably going to horribly mispronounce your names, but It's Na Clips and Dread Wanderer. Thank you very much for all the comments, the discussions. It's been very fucking amazing having you guys come into the comments pretty much on every pretty much on every Sign of Torment video. So thank you very much for your continuous support, and thank you to anybody else that has watched episodes 1 all the way to 32, essentially. Special thanks to the Dread Wanderer and It's Not Clips. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, that one, but special shout out to you two for the many comments and the fun discussions and whatnot. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in the next week in the next Doom series, and hope to see you, anybody else that is watching, next week as well, because like I said, a 16 level megawatt is coming your way then. It's going to be a lot less serious than this one. Won't be as horror-filled as this one. Which could be good, actually, for a change. But yeah, do bear in mind, I recorded that over a year ago. But, hope to see you there. And otherwise, I'll see you in any other of my videos that you decide to watch other than Doom. So, see you next week for the new Doom series. And, check the download link in the description if you want to try Sign of Torment for yourself. And, I think I've said all my thank yous and whatnot. So, anyway, that's it. See you next week in the new Doom series and later or whatever. Fuck, this is the most horrible outro ever. Walete.